If home exercise program is so important for patient recovery, then why is adherence such a problem? With studies showing that non-adherence to home exercise programs is as poor as 50%. What can we do as clinicians to help improve patient adherence? Let's find out. What's up, everyone? Jeffrey Sass here, physical therapist here from TheraXPro.com, where we focus on free clinical tools simplified to help remove barriers for the patients and the clinicians. If you like this video, please hit the subscribe button below to get more additional content. But now to get into the reason why you're actually here, I have my Harry Potter mug, the Gryffindor, because I feel like I need to be brave for this one. So let's get into it. Let's start with asking the question, well, why is exercise adherence so poor? One study that was done in Denmark looked at healthy individuals and can they follow an exercise program, just giving 1 day of instruction. So they went through a program looking at resistance band and general exercises on 1 day, had these healthy students go through for 2 weeks following this program, and then after 2 weeks can come back and see if there was any improvements. And what they found is only 25% of the people that were doing the study were able to do the exercises correctly. Now, these were healthy individuals. These were students. So the fact that they're struggling with it is kind of an indicator that if we don't give enough cueing, if we're not giving a great resource, and if we're not following up between those 2 week time frame, then there's going to be problems. So that seems to make sense. So then we got to ask ourselves, well, why in the clinic would we give someone upon discharge a printed out black and white home exercise program and have them go through those exercises once before going out the door? It is very simple to believe that the same thing is going to happen to them that happened to this healthy individual group in Denmark, that most of the people are probably not going to be adherent and not be able to replicate the exercises. So let's ask the question, do exercise programs actually help patients? And the simple answer is yes. For most cases, there are studies out there that have shown that for someone who has a knee replacement, a hip replacement, chronic pain, or other pathologies, has used exercise programs in conjunction with their medications given by their doctor, with the physical and occupational therapy that they're receiving in the clinic, and in combination with all these things has helped with the recovery process. Likewise, there is opposite data that shows that people are non-adherent has had adverse effects, longer stays in places like acute rehab or subacute facilities, increasing their costs, increasing the burden of care, and ultimately decreasing their belief that exercises are appropriate for what they're going through. So now let's get into how we can deliver exercise programs to improve the adherence. It boils down to two things, in my opinion. How we as clinicians choose to deliver the exercise program, meaning how we communicate, what is our delivery method via printing out versus texting versus emailing to give videos. And also the other thing is how the patient believes. So think about patient buy-in. So let's start with that first one, how we as clinicians choose to give our exercise program. If you choose to give your patient a black and white printout of a cookie cutter exercise program that you have used many times in the past, and then you have a follow-up a week or two later and ask your patient, did you do your home exercise programs? And they look at you and go, yeah, sure, why not? I mean, there's a good chance that they're lying, or they don't remember what you're talking about, or that they are doing it but not correctly. So it's safe to presume that these are facts, that we have it in the research that kind of proves that that is the case. So why don't we update how we kind of deliver that exercise program? There's techniques like motivational interviewing where we involve the patient in development of not only the exercise program, but their plan of care in general. And newsflash, that's crazy, right? Like if we actually talk to our patients, get them involved and have them be part of the strategy, the outcomes are better because now they understand why they're going through this. Instead of thinking like, hey, I have pain, I want medication, but now I'm here with a physical therapist and they're moving me. They're thinking, oh, wow, this makes sense why I need to move to get pain relief and things like that. One quote from Benjamin Franklin that I'm sure I'm about to butcher is, tell me, and I'll probably forget, teach me, and I might remember, but involve me, and then I will learn. So why wouldn't we just involve our patients? Let them get the experience and grow, because ultimately it's their health. So we need to involve them. It's that simple. We need to be asking them questions. Well, what equipment do you have at home? Do you have dumbbells? Do you have resistance bands? Oh, you have dumbbells? Well, I wasn't actually thinking about doing dumbbell exercises, but let's get into that for your back pain. Let's talk about some things. What type of exercises do you like? You like walking? All right, let's see if we can implement that into your program. It has great health benefits. What don't you like about exercise? What has been your stigma that has kind of prevented you from growing with doing exercises? We just need to ask those questions and get them excited about it. And maybe there's things they don't know, and we use that opportunity to teach them a little bit more and get them involved. Early on, one of the first steps I think we need to do in order to get our patients involved with their exercise program is Wait for it.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
This is crazy, but ask them if they'll actually do an exercise program. I know, crazy. Let me get a sip of coffee. That one, crazy. Once they understand the plan of care, why they're there, and what they're going to do at home, then we can continue on. I personally like to pull out my phone or bring out a computer and go through the exercise program with them when I'm actually creating it. So I will search an exercise and actually have them see the video and talk them through and explain the reps and sets and everything and have them actually practice it and help with the cueing and everything like that. In this process, I'll actually have them help me decide exercises if I think it's appropriate. And I think it becomes a collaborative moment. So instead of them feeling like they have to default to what I'm saying and not really understand, they kind of get into the process. And again, this is involving them so they get to kind of grow into their health and get a little bit more excited, which I think helps with the adherence. When I'm initially making an exercise program with a patient, I never do more than 3 exercises. As the research suggests, more than 3, the patient is less likely to adhere to the whole program. So I usually start with 2 to 3, have them practice it, and kind of move on from there. Going from here, what I like to do next is asking them how they would actually like for me to deliver this exercise program, which initially is a little perplexing to them as most people are used to getting handed the black and white printout. So you can either print out an exercise program with a QR code attached, and they can access the videos through that on TheraXPro.com. You can text the exercise program, or you can email the exercise program through TheraXPro.com. So what I find is a lot of patients are used to the printout. So I will create the exercise program in front of them. I'll tell them I'm going to grab the printout really quick. And what I do is I show them the QR code. I ask them if they have their phone on them. Most people do. And I show them how the QR code works. And I show them how they can actually bookmark the website link that comes out of the QR code, so the exercise videos, onto their home screen. And I find that most patients get very excited for it because it looks like a mobile app. Now there's a little icon on their home screen of their phone. They click on it, boom, there's their exercise program. If you've never personally bookmarked anything onto your phone, here's a link to show you how to actually put TheraXPro on your home screen, and just use the same instructions for when you're helping your patient with the QR code to get the exercise program onto their home screen. So now that we addressed it from the clinician side, let's look at it from the patient's perspective. What are the barriers for their non-adherence? Well, the research suggests that things like locus of control, their beliefs into it, psychological factors, and pain are some of the items that are listed out there. These are things that we can actually have an open dialogue with our patient and try and figure out. Think about locus of control. They don't know if this is what's going to help them. So if we don't explain to them that this could help them, why would their perspective change and why would their adherence improve? I'm curious, what other suggestions do you guys have out there on ways we can improve patient adherence to home exercise programs? Please add to the comments below so that we can all get enriched from the ideas. I think we need to have open communication and help each other kind of elevate our own care. If you enjoyed this content, hit that subscribe button below and share this content with your coworkers, friends, or anyone else that you think would benefit from it. From all of us here from TheraXPro, we'll see you next time.